Hi everybody, it's Kat from Creative Crafts, and today's DIY for kids is going to be working with toilet paper rolls. The last video I made was like a joke video because the people panic buying all the toilet paper, and it was just saying if you want to get rid of your toilet paper rolls and you want to recycle, there's ideas. But this is, let's joke on the side. Today's DIY is about working with not old, but the toilet paper rolls and also kitchen roll ones. This one's pretty strong. How you can make art out of it, and this is for any age children. You can use all kinds of stuff. I will give you the list. So, but the list that you need for doing this video, or not video, doing this craft, can't talk today, is of course you're going to need your toilet paper rolls and your kitchen rolls, the inserts of it. You're going to need these, and you're going to need, of course, your paintbrushes, a ruler. You don't have to use a ruler, you can eyeball it when you cut it if you want. Some kind of pliers or tweezers, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you may need it if you want to make a nice flat fold. I'm trying to think English now. You need some paint. You need maybe some kind of printout. If you don't have a printer, what I did is I went on my laptop, or you can go on your normal computer or iPad or whatever you have, and go into cartoon coloring pages or whatever you're looking for. And I put this against the screen, the paper, and I traced it with a pen. That's how I did it, because if you don't have a printer at home, this is one way of doing it for the children. I made a butterfly, a little rabbit, and then some kind of a decorated egg, which I'm going to try to make. You can make a normal egg shape and then make zigzags, and the kids can do all that with that. So that's no problem. You can pick out anything you want. You can draw it by hand if you're a good drawer, but I'm not. So that's why I decided to do it this way. I have some stones here, rocks, if you want to, once you paint it, or you use your Elmer's glue if you want to do. You need Elmer's glue also. I have the hot glue gun here. You can use the hot glue gun, which I'm going to be using, but if you have small children, please make sure that the small children don't burn their fingers with this. Keep an eye on them. Keep it, what do you call it again? I can't remember how you say it in English. Supervised. Make sure the younger kids are always supervised when it comes to working with hot glue or scissors or knives, whatever it is, razors, whatever you want to use, do what you're doing here. Like I said, this is the list I just gave you. You can use glitter. There's all kinds of stuff you can use, whatever you want. And the next step is knowing how do you make these different kind of designs with the toilet paper roll. Well, that's coming up next. Well, the second thing that you need to do is how you're going to make all these, designs on it that you can do with the toilet paper rolls. First, what I did is I took my toilet paper roll and I flattened it. And then I took my ruler, damn it, I can't think of things in English right now, and I measured it to 1 inch apart. Each area 1 inch apart. You can go a ½ inch if you want, which I will do later in one of my things, but for children, I decided that it's better for when children have something bigger to work with. So I said 1 inch is fine. You're going to take your scissors, and of course, I take my scissors and try to measure it exactly to where I put the lines. You can eyeball it. Now that's going flying everywhere. If you want. They don't have to be perfect, but if you want to make it for yourself, and you're a perfectionist, then do it perfect. Children wouldn't even notice the difference unless it's a real big difference. So I cut that one a little crooked. All right, that doesn't matter. So now I have like a 1/2 inch here, and these ones I'm saving for me so that I can make a sun catcher with it, and you can hang it up better. You can also use these big ones for sun catchers, but it probably wouldn't look so nice. But I think this is the best thing that you can use to make it as a sun catcher. This is more like for the adults. So I put these on the side, and I will show you in another video. So now that you cut all these, now you can go to the next step, which is making the designs that you need. You can go step by step by taking your picture and saying, okay, how do I want to do this, you know? All right, I mean, if you have smaller areas like this here, like where the leaves are, you can put them here, and then you can put another one on another side. I only made one. You can use the bigger one then. And you can, like I'm thinking about going live and then go like this with it. You can glue them together like this. Really small kids, I suggest that you use Elmer's glue. Make sure you put too much, or you can put too little too. Just make sure. Checking my camera to make sure it's still working. So there's 3 different sizes. We have this big one here. Then we have this medium little one, and then we have a really, really small one. Then for the raindrop, teardrop, whatever, you have also 3 different sizes. That's what you can make. If you want to make a bigger size teardrop, you can. That's your choice. Then you have the spirals. This is from the big side, this one whole one, and this is from the half of it, the half size of it. And then I have some that are painted, and I decide one end glue here, one end glue here. You can mix and match. I did this here, as you can see. Then I took one, and what I did is I took one of these and put it down, flatten it, and then make it half again. And then what you could do is, if you want to make this part rounded, I suggest you take a small pole, well, you know, some kind of a stick. And what I did is, you take it, don't put it too high because you'll rip it. And then you have it now good. Do the same thing on the other side if you want. And now we have bunny ears, you could say. That's one way of you can do it with one big piece. You can do it with the half of it too if you want. And like I did here, I did this. And then you can leave it just like this. Pointed. Totally pointed, and you can use that if you want. Then I took one and made a circle, spiral, and then I glued it closed. So that can be like in the center point, like for an eye or for a middle of a flower. And then I did one with the spirals on both ends. You can do that too. It's actually, everything here you could do is unlimited. It's your imagination how you want to do it. But these are the basic sizes that they usually use. What you could do is also, for the design, you don't want to just put this here like this. You can add another one on the inside and glue it. And then you can also do that to another one. So you have 3 different sizes. If you want to put another one, what you can do is, like I would do, is just cut it down round it out again. You can use the pencil like I said, and put this, glue this in between all of that. And that's when you come, handy comes with the tweezers or pliers. You glue this all together, and then you have several different sizes with each other, within each other. Damn, can't read. Hope you can see that. Let me see if I can. No, actually you can't see what I was doing. There you go. Let me put this downward then. And put it a little bit closer. What I was talking about is this here. You can make several different sizes as you want. You just need to cut it to the size you need. You don't always have to keep it whole. You can, like if you want more than half size, you can cut this piece off. Cut this piece off, and then you have another size. So this is how you can do it. That's basically how they make the art, is they keep making a big size and then they make it smaller and then smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and that comes out into something like this. I mean, it's not glued, but that's how they do it. They glue it together, and that's how they can do it. This is more like an art for older kids and adults, but for children, the easiest thing to do is, let's put this aside now, is just have them take the big pieces. You can help them glue this little area, this circle thing here, and they can make little flowers if they want. If you can see what I'm doing here, glue each one together. And then you have your little flower there. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. Good. And then you have your flower. So this is one way of doing it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. You can use, you could call Elmer's glue if you want. But I decided I'm going to just take the hot glue gun for me. And I'm going to take a tiny bit of, not too much, because if you put too much, it's going to stick out too much. So I'm going to stick it right on the edge of this. And make sure it doesn't stick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ceramic workplace here. And I'm going to do it this way, because when the hot glue won't stick to this. So you can pull it off easy. Like I said, just a little bit. This glue gun drips, so. And then I would just maybe suggest to go first the 4 corners. The kids can stick it on how they want it. And press. Make sure it's all even Steven. Make sure it's, I'm trying to make it perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I already had painted some. I was debating what I should do. Should I first paint it and then cut it, or should I paint it after I cut it? So I was debating with myself what I should do. And I truly believe painting it once you get everything on here together would probably be easier. Maybe. So right now I'm just doing, like you see what I'm doing here. And it's basically really easy. You can use Elmer's glue, or you know, this stick glue that they have. You can use that too. So stick that in here. That one's a little bit bigger. That's all right. That's no problem. And here's my last piece. There you go. I have my flower here. And you'll look around and say, okay, which side could be the stem? You want to make a stem? Fine. What you do is you take one of these, like the ones I painted, and you stick that in there. The kids can do that. Stick that in here, right at the tip on the round circle part. And there you go. And then I would suggest that you take one of these and cut them. And then fold it in half. Fold it in half. Bend it. And then, you know, press it down just slightly. Put some glue on it. And then you have your leaf. Get this out of the way. If you want to make another one, you can. Do the same thing for the other side. Fold it. Put some glue. And then do it on the other end. And there you go. You have a lot of that glue. That's one thing I don't like about glue guns. You have this string that comes from it. So if you want to paint it, I would suggest to go through it, clean it. This is not really tight, so I'm just going to stick some glue in there. There we go. I'm going to let that sit for a few. Like I said, make sure you take off any excess glue everywhere, and then you can probably paint it. Like here, I screwed up here a little bit. So what I can do is there we go. Now it's the same size. And there's a little flower. You can make any, damn glue. It's chasing me. Let me put this up here. Hope you saw what I was doing, how I was doing it. Like I said, it's pretty easy. Some children can do this, and if you want, you can do this on top of a piece of paper. You know, do this on top of a piece of paper, and the kids can glue that on there with normal Elmer's glue, or that kind of stick glue that's for children. You can stick that on here, and like I said, you can do anything. You can make little designs like this here, and then they can glue it on here. These are very easy to make. All you have to do is just take one of these pieces here. You take a stick or an old paintbrush or a pen, either or. And then you just do that. Take it, and right now it's not working for me. Okay, there we go. Now you go like this on one end, let it go, and then you do the other end. Go around and around. And there you go, you have another one. And then stick it over here. All kinds of designs you can make, you know. You can make little teardrops. Stick these two together like I told you you could do before. Stick this together. And then you have your little teardrop. And then you can just stick it on here. Onto this thing here. This is basically how you do toilet paper art, well, toilet paper roll art. And you just keep doing it, filling it up totally. Like in here, if you want to have more petals inside, and you want to make it half, like I said, you take half of it. There's another, is there one here that's half? No, there isn't. All right, or what you could do is you take one of these, like I said before, you take it and fold it in half. Take it. Put some glue on it, and then you put it inside. You can take a small brush and spread it apart a little bit if you want it to. And there you go. That's how you can add things inside. If you want to add like one of these little circle things here into it, what you can do is put some glue here on the end. Making sure there's no... And then I will add it in there. And that's how you can do that. The glue is sticking everywhere, isn't it? Oh, come on. So, there you go. I mean, like you can see glue here. Just pull it off everywhere that you can, that you see extra glue. And then just keep filling them all, fill this whole thing up. The kids can do that themselves if they want. You can help them by making these little designs here if they can't do it themselves. You can make a whole bunch of them. This is very easy to do. You can prepare all this in the night before you go to bed once the kids are asleep. So the next morning you have a whole bunch of these little things. And the kids can just go ahead and glue everything you want. You show them one way to do it and tell them, here, have fun. That's too funny, yeah. So, here's another one. Like I said, you can just do this and stick this, just this one. You can use it with two, or with one, with the circle, any which way you want. I can need some more glue. This is like a little circle now. So what I'm going to do is, so everybody, I painted the whole flower red. Then I decided to put glitter. And the stem here green. Then I have this glitter, glitter glue? No. Acrylic fiber with glitter. That's what it is. And I decided that maybe I want to add just a tad of this color onto the other green that I just painted. Just so that it has also some glitter on it too, because I don't want to put the green glitter around here so that it gets all over that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try to stick it just around certain areas. See how it looks. Don't think that's going to work. As you notice, I decided to take an old plate and use that for the paint. It'll peel right off anyway. And it's a plate for coffee thing, so no one really puts food on it anyway. So this is what I'm going to do here. I decided to do that. And I'm going to just go get some glitter for the green, because it will look much better with that. So I'll be right back. So everybody, the next step is I'm going to be doing this. But first I'm going to cut all the pieces a ½ inch thick, because I want to make it as a sun catcher when I'm done. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But first I need to do all that, and then I'm going to paint the colors on the pieces of the toilet paper roll before I glue them. Because painting it after it's glued together, you're going to, you know, like with the stem I had a problem with getting it on the red on the stem, and then when I was painting the stem, the green was going on the flower, so forth and so on. The flower on the stem area, I put glitter on it. I don't know if it's on the video or not, but I'll let you know. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to cut all the things ½ inch, paint it all, and then we're going to get to this part here where I'm going to make this egg. And I'm going to glue everything together when I'm done with that. So I'll see you in that next step. Alright everybody, like I said to you before, Here are some of the designs I've did. I added glitter to it, as you can see. A friend of mine, she did this here. She used other things that I had extra, round pearls and stuff like that. You can use that too for the kids. I did this, that's why it took me so long. I'm sorry I didn't post the video last night, but today definitely I decided to do that today. And I finished this. I painted them all separately, you know, after I glued it all together, which was not a good idea. I suggest that you paint them all first, the colors that you think you're going to need. Like I said, with the pattern that you picked out, like I showed you how you can do it without a printer. And paint it separately and then glue them. Because painting them after this, it's kind of difficult. Because you always touch the other one that's supposed to be a different color, and it's just one big mess. So it's better that you do all the colors that you need first, paint them. I suggest that you cut the piece, cut them up first and then paint them. Don't paint the whole roll of toilet paper, the rolls. Slice them the way the size you want, then paint them, put them aside, and then you can decide what you want to do with it. That was the best choice that you could do. I hope you like it. I love it. I think it's cute. Can use do something to hang it up with. It's pretty stable. So it's not wobbly. You think it would be wobbly, but it's not. Same thing goes for this. Like I said, these were just ideas. And I made this flower, so you can use this for something else too. You can make anything, any kind of design you want, something for Easter. You can also glue it on a canvas if you want, glue it on wood. You can do anything you want. This is my version, or how I think you should do it, but you can do it any way you want. But this is one way of recycling, and it's also fun for the kids. So I hope you like this video. Please give it the thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. I would love to have you join my family, and I'll see you in my next video.